us. We need you to see if there are some Nigerians that have completed the human evolution. There are some Nigerians that they appear like normal human beings like this. The criminal politicians have destroyed them beyond repair simply because they never developed fully. What you get is, we need to check if majority of us actually we are human beings that are human beings. Because you see in Abuja, suffering and smiling. There are in Ghana, if your loved one dies and a lot of you feels like it will be too embarrassing for you to be seen to be tearing up and crying, you can hire people to cry at the burial. Now, when they want to come and cry, depends on how you want it. Do you want them to cry like morning mood, like that, or do you want them to put up act like falling down, like rolling on the floor? Like, do you want them to also choke and faint and all of that stuff? It depends what you want. Do you get that now? There are people, they will cry. Oh, you would think that their mama died. True story. Because now everything they funny to some of you. These days, a lot of you just look at me and just started smiling or laughing. But true story. Because there's somewhere I'm going with this. And some of you know that it's true story as well, by the way. In Nigeria, there are categories of protesters. If you want women to go naked for you, people will say you won't rob. Because say somebody rob you, you won't contra say, they have stolen the mandate. They have stolen your mandate that you gave to me. You can hire people that can go naked or breast. You can hire you can hire people that are going to in any way go peacefully. You can hire protesters that can suddenly dress up as a Fulani or dress up as Igbo or dress up as Hausa. You can hire bishops and whatever you want them to do. If you want them to speak in tongue, you go see Reverend Father where they speak in tongue. You don't see them before? All these acts are there. They are all for hire in Abuja. That's Abuja. You will see a lot of people, like 200. When they hear that people are protesting the economic hardship, Buhari must go, Buhari must go. Then you will see all these guys, they will gather and they will say, Buhari, we love Buhari, Buhari must stay, Buhari must, you know what I mean? And if you want them to go violent, like start burning properties, there are those you can hire too. If you want them, that those ones who are going to help you attack policemen and destroy things, you can. Politicians have all of this. They've created this category of Nigerians. So Wike couldn't find them, missing too. But whether people come out can help Wike send a message or not, he will still want to say it himself, Abi. I'm sorry if this is going to annoy you, by the way. Wike himself, in his usual way, had this to say.
Yesterday, somebody told me that there are some people who were carrying placards. Because, frankly speaking, I don't have time to even see that. I was busy. I don't want to be distracted. We want to be focused and deliver on the mandate Mr. President has given to us. But one thing you must also understand, that this is democracy. So many people are entitled to their opinions. But what is important is your opinion must be in line of what is good for the people of the FCT. We can't continue to do the same thing, the same way, and expect to achieve different results. One of the big things about leadership is that you must be firm, you must be bold, you must be courageous to take a decision. And we are taking decision to make sure our people are happy with this administration. We have taken a decision to make sure we do the best for the people as mandated by Mr. President. In policies you make, it may not favor so many people, but what is important is the generality of the people, not few people who benefit at the detriment of others. You know, when you bring a policy that will bring change, so many people will kick against it. Those who benefit, the few that benefit, will kick against it. But when you are focused and firm, they have no choice but to come back and align themselves with the policies of government. This is a hard time. We must take decisions, no matter how hard it is. But what's important is at the end of the day, the people should benefit from it. And so, let nobody bother himself that there are people who were paid. Yes, they've collected the money, and that has ended yesterday. So we are used to all this. So nobody should be worried that people are demonstrating. If they don't demonstrate, is it therefore that will demonstrate? So don't bother yourself. People must have work to do. What we want people to ask us, what have we achieved in these 3 months that Mr. President has given us? What have we achieved? We can boldly tell Nigerians that in these 3 months, with the support of Mr. President, this is what we have done, this is what we have done, and by the grace of God, in the 1-year office of Mr. President, Nigerians will see what Mr. President has done in FCT, and that is what we stand for. By May 29, 2024, FCT will roll out its achievement as far as the administration of Mr. President is concerned. So today, just like the...
Find out in the first 100 to 200 days in office, what should citizens expect to see if you're elected as president, sir?
Day 1, hit the ground running. Day 2, continue running. Day 3, don't rest.
Find out in the first 100 to...
I know he didn't have much to say, didn't have anything to say. I just wanted you to probably just hear from him that if he has anything to add there to those who are protesting against him. It is for the interest of the generality of the people. So if some people are going to be uncomfortable that they are going to take over their land and give it back to themselves, it is just for the benefit of the people. We'll go there when that time comes. Abi Wike ko, Wiri Wike throwback. Ladies and gentlemen.
When I hear people declaring for APC, saying that they want to continue the good job of Mr. President, the good job of people dying every day, the good job of Naira falling every day, I feel so ashamed that we have gone to the level where sacrificing, people will come and say, look, I want to continue the good job of Buhari. What is the good job of Buhari? Of hunger is a good job. Of poverty is a good job. Of insecurity is a good job. Of the economy falling is a good job. It's such a shameful thing. I can't believe that somebody will come out in today's Nigeria and say, I want to continue where Mr. Buhari has stopped. May God forgive. May God never allow that people to continue to.
What kind of psychophancy? Omoshotiri psychophancy. The textbook definition of psychophancy. You want to see it, eh? Okay. Wike, yeah, dance for us. Just, yeah, a little bit. Come on. Show us some moves.
Stop.
Yes, sir. In the Chief of Staff's office. Well done. Very nice. I'm glad to see this.
You see what they reduced with a Wike to? Inside Gbaja Mole's office, they told Wike who came in to come and sign some document. Ayema. You cannot shame the shameless, of course. Wiri Wike, Emperor Wike, Ikwere Adolf Hitler, the little emperor. He go Gbaja's office. Gbaja removed his phone and said, "Minister, dance for me." What do you want me to do? What kind of dance? Dance, any song. I want you to sing for me. Wiri Wike, Emperor Port Harcourt too. Then we'll video again.
Yes, sir. In the Chief of Staff's office. Well done. Very nice. I'm glad to see this.
Gbaja. Gbaja via Mole. I bet it. He will just sit down there and he'll be like, oh God. Hey, Wike PDP. Dance for me. Come on, man. Come on. I'm going to record it too. Minister, I want you to dance for me. I'm going to record it and keep it on my phone so that I can share it on social media. Oh yeah, Minister, start dancing like that. Wike now was doing this. He's doing this. Gbaja Amiela now said, inside the Chief of Staff's office, I like this. But some of you will think, maybe that video will do anything to Wike. No, we are going to laugh at that video. Whenever Wike's time comes, that they are going to throw him under the bus. That's the most we can do. Laugh, make a joke. You remember that of Dino Melaye? Dino, you remember that? He was making a joke, he was having fun, he was mocking somebody. But when his time came, the video surfaced. One day, if they can do that in that public, that somebody recorded it, Baba, just imagine what these guys do for power when the light is off, when the curtain is closed. Just imagine it. For power, and this is why.
About the relationship between money and power. They're very uncomfortable bedfellows because the one normally seeks the other. What is the point of having a lot of money if you have no power? So very quickly, rich people start trying to translate that wealth into power. They start cozying up to politicians. They start trying to be politicians. And the opposite is also true. What is the point of having all this power and you're poor? So politicians start trying to monetize their power into wealth. And that is where corruption starts. So the relationship between money and power really is one that, if not managed well, destroys countries. And it's a difficult relationship because the one inevitably leads to the other. And how do you manage that? We face that challenge now. I think as First Lady, the question I always get asked is, how are you going to make sure that your business interests don't conflict with your existing role? What my husband and I have decided is we're going to do declarations. It's not required of me, it's not required of him, but we will declare all of our assets. And in that way, people can know what you own, where it is. I don't want to hide through proxies. And they can see where the wealth that you have has been created and not have to suspect you each time you buy expensive things that you stole it from the people. So declaration of assets, transparency, and communication are key issues in leadership. It's a double-edged sword. I don't necessarily want everybody to know what I own and how much it's worth, but I guess there's a bigger price to leadership at times. But it also comes down to a personal discomfort about.
She's the first lady of an African country giving that speech, explaining the connection between power and money. The two lovebirds that are, in love or connected by corruption. That's a brilliant, presentation there. The greed that comes with having access to power. But in Nigeria, where there are no consequences for actions, they do it, they get away with it, they do it again, they get compensated for it, and they do it again. And that is why we agree that Nigeria is a crime scene. In Zamfara, the poor Zamfara, Matawale was their governor for just 4 years. Now, in that 4 years, Matawale turned Zamfara's money to his, and Zamfara resources to his families. Now, he left, he was defeated in their charade election, right? Even though he's still in court, trying to come back. Okay? But when this guy left the government house in May, Ogbeni just packed all the vehicles bought with public money, and he took them away, and he said they were his. He bought them. The person who is the new governor or the new government should go and buy their own. This guy go to court, and the court said they should give him the car back. Meanwhile, another court has now said they should take the cars from him. What does he want to do with all of these cars? He's not being held responsible for his crime, looting Zamfarabi. He got compensated. He is currently the Minister of State for Security in Nigeria, Minister of State for Defense. He is a defense minister in Nigeria today. But when the court said, go get all those cars from him, the court didn't say he must be arrested. He's committed a crime. But they are going to Supreme Court. Supreme Court is going to say, give the cars back to him with publicly funded vehicles, power, greed, and wealth.
These are the operational vehicles that the Zamfara state government claimed were stolen by the immediate past governor and recovered from his residences in Gusau and Maradun town, the local headquarters. The press secretary to the present governor, Sani Sambo, said about 50 vehicles were recovered following the Federal High Court, Sokoto Division's verdict that the vehicles belonged to the Zamfara government. He said due process was carefully followed to recover the vehicles from the 2 residences of the former governor, who earlier denied stealing government property when he was leaving office.
Right now, as far as the court is concerned, the vehicles behind me here belong to the Zamfara state government. So we see that some are still being brought from day before yesterday. Yesterday, some drivers had been very busy along with security men bringing them. Right now that I'm talking, Behind me are some of the vehicles coming. So perhaps we could have up to 50 that have been taken away. And the question one will be asking, every right-thinking person will be asking is, where was he going with all this vehicle?
The press secretary said that the Governor Dauda Lawal-led administration is doing everything possible to bring about the desired development in the state, but not to witch hunt or project anyone in a bad light.
Are we projecting them in bad light when we help him to bring what is not his to the government house for the people? They can make claims. You know, anybody who feels that by doing good to the people, you are exposing his own recklessness with financial resources or using the seat of power for personal gains and sentiment, you will get irritated.
All classes, you know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
Greed. Somebody said Nigerian politicians and vehicles. That's what they do. That's what they use the billions to buy. They love it. They love to have other convoy. The convoy of 200 cars on tarred roads, dusty roads, just to show that one man is coming, is the governor. Nigeria. That they had to go to court to go and retrieve stolen vehicles, stolen government vehicles. Those are your leaders. He is currently in charge of the defense ministry, trying to bring security to Nigeria and give you security. God damn it, man. Anyway, let me take you to another one, okay? And this time around, it is Dino Melaye. Dino have started. Dino for president, 2027. On a joke. No funny. Dino is now mobilizing all the oppositions in Nigeria in order to save Nigeria. Omo. Hello, get ready. Messiah Dino, what do you say?
Populists who are the illiterate, who are suffering bad leadership, bad governance.
To start with, this is a meeting by opposition political parties in Nigeria, and it's our maiden meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to galvanize the support of political parties towards judicial and electoral reforms in this country, towards good governance, towards reforming our electoral process. And today we have adopted a name, and the name of this group will be Conference of Opposition Political Parties in Nigeria, COPIN. And by the grace of God, it was a very fruitful meeting. The Labour Party delegation was led by Chief, and we also have the delegation of ABGA, led here by, yes, and we have the apology of few political parties, but we've all agreed that as opposition political parties in this country, we are going to work together to end the pain and end the shame, democratic shame in this country. We want to make sure that we visibly meet to discuss issues of electoral reform, issues of judicial reform, issues of INEC, issues of rigging, and how we can partner together as opposition political parties in this country to work together to end the democratic shame and the democratic pain in this country, especially from the last elections we've seen in Kogi and Imo, We believe that we cannot continue like this as a country. There's a need for amelioration. There's a need for palliation. There's a need for correction. And we have resolved that I, as the convener of this meeting, will drive the political parties, opposition political parties in this country, to do the needful and to keep the party in power in check, to make sure that our democratic ideals, our democratic doctrines, our democratic tenets in this country is respected, and that there will be fairness, there will be equity, there will be egalitarianism in our democracy in this country. And we believe that we have adjourned to meet in a date that will be announced, and we are going to take this very seriously. And the battle to rescue this country democratically for all opposition political parties is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. And we are all committed to this cause.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
So do you know the rescuer? He said coping. Coping. I don't know, say all of you will have to cope. This is 2024. Under this Tifnumbu, it is either you learn how to fight or you learn how to cope. So even political parties, opposition political party, they are going to be coping. Answer. Somebody was asking who, somebody said, are you saying the person that stole those cars is now a minister of defense in Nigeria? No be joke, yo. And the Matawale be this, so. Sure you get. This guy. Man. If you know what this guy did to Zamfara State in 4 years, the insecurity, how it spread, the loss of lives, just like the shitty man, Alhaji Beriberi. Now, shitty man, when he was governor in Borno, that was when the Boko Haram terrorism escalated to what it became at the time, including housing the wanted terrorists at the time in government house, knowing that the police cannot come into the government house to search the government house. And it was a good luck Egbere Jolanthan that was the president then. Like Chitiman, you see this Matawale, the devil incarnate, he doesn't even live in Zamfara. That is whenever he's in Nigeria. Okay? Matawale was able to annex every resources on the ground, under the land, in the bank, wherever it is, that has any iota of Zamfara attached to it, automatically become his. When the terrorists, Fulani terrorists, that invaded Zamfara, when they started their operation, people said, these ones are not herdsmen. No. These ones are like Boko Haram, pretending to be herdsmen, because they said their operation, the way they attack villages, the way they kill people and burn their houses and all of that, in Zamfara is 100% similar to how Boko Haram has been operating. They screamed and screamed and screamed. Nobody heard them because, for some reason, those in Zamfara are mostly farmers. They needed their lands. If you go to Zamfara State today, you will see different dog holes where they have managed to either extract something here or there, gold, name it. They were killing people on their farms. And within a week or so, they will bring in machineries to those places. They will bring in young men and women, children. They will begin to dig the ground they have and extract whatever they can get. And guess who collects all the gold from them? Matawale, their governor. And he told them, Zamfara gold belonged to Zamfara people, making those people believe that the prosperity that came to Zamfara belonged to them, even if they are bleeding for now. He will keep it for them in Dubai. Zamfara gold are supposedly somewhere in a vault in Dubai. Thousands of people were slaughtered and killed, turned homeless. This number of internally displaced persons in Nigeria that has skyrocketed from 1 million naira to nearly 10 million people. I mean, I said 1 million naira. From 1 million people who are refugees in 2015, the number has now skyrocketed to over 9 million. Nearly 10 million internally displaced Nigerians go to Zamfara. And when you look at all those villages that they killed people, killed them and chased them away, majority of them are probably inhabitable anymore. They have doggos, dog pits, extracting different, whatever they could get. This guy just married I think, fourth wife. He married second, he married third, and he married fourth wife. And he took the fourth wife to America to go and give birth. When people were being slaughtered in Zamfara, they were in America waiting for his wife's childbirth. Trying to support his wife who just put to bed, the governor of Zamfara. Now, on the day he was leaving government, he packed all the cars, brand new cars bought with government money, and he took them away. Few months after, 2 months after that, Tifnumu made him Minister of Defense. Yeah, Minister of Defense of State in Nigeria. You think when we say Nigeria is a crime scene, we're making it up, Abi? You have no idea. Now they said the politicians are coming together, opposition, and the one they said represented the Labour Party. Listen to him.
Populists who are the electorate who are suffering bad leadership, bad governance, occasioned by bad electoral processes, as led by Yakubu Mahmoud. For us, for things to work, this partnership is for electoral, judicial, and constitutional reform that will help in improving our electoral atmosphere, that will make sure that one man, one vote will be the issue, that will make sure that anybody who goes to cast his vote will be sure that his vote will be counted, that will make sure that Nigerians will have confidence in the electoral process again. Because as it stands today, let me tell you, we have one of the worst democratic process going on right now, because the way the Electoral Commission is managing the process. And I tell you, it's very also important, as part of the electoral reform that we're pursuing, that the commission will be unbundled. Because as today, the commission is overburdened, and because of that nature of weight, commission is acting as state, as someone who is protection of the state, who work and conduct election as if the interest is to protect parties in government. The opposition parties have suffered more over the years, because when you go to election, you have to work along with the fact that the electoral system is working against you from day one. And Labour Party suffered more in the last election. So for all this to work, the parties must be united. They must come together to have a focus on now the electoral system must be fair, electoral system must be credible, and the electoral system must represent the true wishes and aspirations of our people.
All right, thank you. Please.
I have a question. Whatever you are doing in this coalition ends up at the National Assembly, this conference ends up at the National Assembly. And the National Assembly is headed by somebody to do the right thing and to restore the right politics.
The National Assembly is the people's house, and they will know that when the Nigerian people speak and have a reform that will protect the general interests of our people, that they will not work against it. Because one, the National Assembly does not only consist of the ruling party, it consists of all other parties, like the PDP and the Labour Party, and the NNPP, then ABGA. So we are going there to present something that will save Nigeria from this shame, from this international embarrassment, something that will give light and give life to our electoral processes, something that will enrich our democratic practice, something that will give growth and development to our people. Because why? because elections are not fair, because elections are not credible, is the reason why those who get into government misbehave, because they are not elected by the people. When our elections start to have these ingredients, that credentials, that is fair, that is credible, and that is only by the vote of the people that you can be elected, you will find out those who get into office will be responsible and be responsive to the earnings of our people.
Kura, the National Vice Chairman, North Central Abga.
Okay, let's hear from the Abga.
It's okay, it's all right. Now English, when I still they talk. So let's wish them good luck. Okay? I just thought you should know that there is another group now called the Coping, and it's going to be the coalition of opposition parties against Tifnumbu, and they want to do a reform. They want to unbundle the INEC. They want to reform the judiciary. They want to reform INEC and all of that. So they want make Kolu using own hand to set himself up like they expected Bokuwari to conduct credible elections against himself in 2019. Nevertheless, right? We wish them all the best. Listen to this for a few minutes.
Yes, indeed. So ever since...
Oh, hang on. I think we've jumped one, okay? One of Tifnumbu's ministers currently benefiting from the corrupted judiciary that has been, you know what I mean, like Gandola said. Listen to this. Gandola said, Tifnumbu has approved the blueprint, his own blueprint on how they are going to ensure that the entire eastern part of Nigeria will become APC. You get that? However, because they have the judiciary, okay? And when I say they have the judiciary, I think I had a clip, a picture. I don't have that anymore, where the Chief Justice of Nigeria was bowing down for Gandola. So you see this guy, he lost his election. They lost the state, Plateau State, okay? And he happened to be the Tifnumbu's presidential campaign chairman or whatever. And he was awarded the minister, as a minister, he became a minister, okay? Compensated, rather. He was compensated. Then the court just came back and said, well, he won an election that he didn't win during the poll. You know why? Make I tell you. A lot of you have been hearing about Kano. I don't think some of you are paying attention to Plateau State, and the scheme that is going on there. I don't think some of you are paying attention. The Nigeria court is about to remove their governor because, according to them, he was not properly nominated by PDP. The court has already removed all of the PDP members in the State House of Assembly. He removed all of them. Removed National Assembly members. I mean, in one single ruling, the courts in Plateau State, the appeal court, ruled that all the 16 House of Assembly members of PDP who won their election because they were not properly nominated. So therefore, PDP had no candidates in 2023 election in Plateau State. The same thing they said is pre-election matter for Tifnumbu. Pre-election matter when it came to Shitty Man. Pre-election matter here and Diaby is no longer pre-election matter. So right now, APC, Egbekegbe, without winning elections, they are now controlling the Plateau State House of Assembly. And in another few days, they are going to take control of the government house of Plateau State. Here you get. So, Lalong that lost has been reinstated by the... Now, he's now confused. Should make I just continue as a minister? Or make I just go to the National Assembly and, you know, I just they chop my... He said he's confused and he needs people's advice in this economy.
Immediately, I gave autonomy to local governments in my state. I gave autonomy to House of Assembly. I gave autonomy to judiciary. And all of them came and said, okay, the states should also copy and do it. Where are those states? So I'm sorry when I told Comrade Aremu, I said LNC was going to Imo about salaries in Imo. I said, if you ask me, go to 28 states where they are not paying salaries. What are you doing about those ones? Don't pick one. Don't just pick one and go there. It means that you are picking one because Imo is your state. You are concerned about Imo. I am aware that most of the states are not keeping to it. Even the 30% minimum wage. Immediately we went back. I started my 30% minimum wage up to the time I left. So I can stand here and say, so all are things that you will not know. But somebody one day, when they call me to give award, I remind them that it's part of these things that we did, whether accidentally or deliberately. And so for workers, the best thing I always know is when I see workers are very happy. The day I was appointed, Comrade Aremu is there. I said, after the problem in Plateau, they are moving me to another problem. But I have no reason to complain. By the time I got there, I saw almost all the people that are working with me are very friendly people, those I've worked with. And that is why I always say the renewed hope is hope for everybody, including all of you union leaders and civil servants. So I want to use the opportunity to thank you very much for this award. And as evidence of kind gesture too, Remujo reminded me that today is the fellowship, today is the 40th anniversary. So I have asked him and said, for me as a minister, I will now make it today, declare that they should go and process and give awards, a fellowship to fellowship of MNILS as part of celebration for this 40th anniversary, so that these awards can be given to people in recognition. In recognition. So that is what I will say. I don't want to say much, because each time I'm with him, he will remind me that please don't go to Senate. Please remain with us at the Ministry for Labor. Maybe that is not what my constituency will also say, because as I am now, I'm a very confused man. Because whether to go to left or go to right, but pray for me to take the best decision. If I remain with you, I will remain as a comrade. But if I go there, as I told Comrade Shomale, I said they mentioned you to go and speak on behalf of the labor. I said no, Comrade Aremu should speak. They said why? I said as a senator, I think you have partly committed class suicide. You may be shifting a little bit, but we will see.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
He's a confused man. He's not confused. He's just want to weigh the option of, as a labor minister, I go there in charge of billions. But if anything should happen to Kolu, I may no longer have access to this billion. They go remove me like that. But if I go to Senate, that one is guaranteed. I can throw my weight around. Apart from the 600 to 700 million that he's going to make in a year, he can still make more by, throwing the weight here and there, corner some budget padding and the rest, and even make more than, $1 billion a year, every year. And in 4 years, he can make that. And everybody go just say, now all of them be thief, all of them be thief. They will say, he's the minister, we stole those so and so. So he's not confused. They carry too much back for his front. Nigeria judiciary is helping the plebiscite that is going to take place about Nigeria very soon. And yeah, let them do as they like. Right. So I think I have another thing I want to share with you as well. And I'm gonna. I think it's another one. Okay. So, and this is what I want you to listen to just for 5 minutes.
Yes, indeed. So ever since eight persons were kidnapped, 2 initially were rescued. We understand 2 more have been rescued. So you're waiting for some more. So tell us how the